Today I want to talk about something else that plagues millions of people, gut health. And we keep getting more and more confused as we keep following influencers on social media. There's good information, there's wrong information, there's dangerous information, but we should never forget that we're all different. And that's why when I talk to you, I like to talk about fundamentals. Like, what are fundamentals? Like laws of nature. No matter what I tell you or anyone tells you, the law of gravity doesn't change, right? There are certain laws that just don't change. And that's why we try to encourage you and teach you, first get the foundations in place. So number one, when it comes to your gut health, okay, you really need to spend a lot of money on probiotics, prebiotics, and all of these things. Yes, sometimes you do when you need it. When your gut's really destroyed, you've gone through heavy treatments, you've abused your gut over the years. But no, let's talk about the fundamental rules. This is not what I think you need. It's what your gut needs. Number one, what does your gut need? Your gut needs rest. It needs rest from constantly nibbling, eating, overeating, undereating, and all of that stuff. Because what does your gut do in a period of rest? It automatically starts to clean up your gut. It starts to replenish your microbes. It rests. In a state of rest, what happens in the human body? Your hair grows. Your skin gets better. Or so much happens. Your hormones balance. Your muscles recover. There's growth. There's repair. Your immune system is enhanced. There is so much magic that happens in a state of rest. So imagine the magic that happens in your second brain, which is called your enteric nervous system, which is your gut. So first give it rest. And that's why when you look again at the animal kingdom, whenever animals are sick, they find a quiet place under a tree in the shade and they stop eating. Now sometimes we have certain conditions which require us to eat. Our appetite will decide that. But whenever you fall sick or your child falls sick, your kid falls sick and they say, Mom, I'm not hungry. Dad, I'm not hungry. Do not force them to eat. I don't know a single kid who has died of starvation because of this point. They will eat when they're hungry. But the very fact that their appetite cuts down is because their gut needs rest. Your gut regulates hormones. Your gut regulates the immune system. So what you need to understand is break. If you're constantly, most people today, they've hardly finished a meal. 2 hours later, they put something in their mouth. You've not even finished digesting your first meal. Now your pancreas have to produce more enzymes. Your gut has to work harder. Your stomach needs to produce more acid. So from the time you wake up till you eat, if you're constantly eating, you have more stomach acid, you have lesser digestive enzymes or less efficient digestive enzymes, and your gut never gets a break to clean itself. You should know that within 90 to 120 minutes of eating a meal, after that, if you still not eat in 90 to 120 minutes, there's something called the MMC, the migratory motor complex, that activates. It's like a housekeeping team that sweeps across your gut, cleaning it. But within that 190 minutes, that 90 to 120 minutes, if I eat something, I don't activate the MMC. And then I'm looking at pills and prebiotics and probiotics and cleansers to do something that your own intelligence within you already has. We have to stop eating constantly. I love when people say boost your metabolic activity by eating every 2 hours. Metabolism has nothing to do with that. Metabolism is nothing but the body's ability to convert food into energy, to convert fat into energy. You don't need to eat every 2 hours to do that. Metabolic health is around building muscle, challenging muscle, your workouts, your cardio, your sleep, your recovery, your nutritious food, your hormonal health, your thoughts. If you're stressed out all the time, low metabolic activity. So that's what your metabolism is really all about, not eating every 2 to 3 hours. That's why snacking is one of the biggest jokes. Snacks are helpful. I use a snack. I'm getting on a flight. I know I'm not going to have access to a great meal until I land, so I'll carry a bar, a healthy snack. But a snack doesn't mean that we're supposed to eat every 2 to 3 hours. So when you learn to keep a gap between your meals, for some people it could be 3.5, some people could be 4, and a lot of people say, Luke, if I keep a gap, I get acidic. That means you have a gut problem. The problem is not the gap. The problem is you have a weak gut. You have a problem with your stomach. It's not a problem with the gap. In fact, you get better by keeping a gap, by changing your lifestyle. So that's the first fundamental rule of gut health. And that's the only rule we're going to talk about today. There are 12 fundamental rules, but we're talking about one. That's it. Unless you've been advised by your doctor to eat consistently. Some patients need that when they're initially on an immunosuppressant, or they have highly fluctuating blood sugar levels, or they're about to get into surgery or post-surgery. It's different. But for everyone else, start to build a discipline of keeping a gap. 3.5 to 4 hours is what a normal vegetarian meal takes to digest. If you're eating a steak, if you're eating meat, it could be even 6 to 7 hours to digest, which is why people who are carnivores, people who eat meat, they probably eat 1 or 2 meals in a day because it fills them up right through. Digestion is slow, extracting all the vitamins and minerals. If you're vegetarian, just keep it to 3.5 to 4 hours. The easiest way is be mindful. You will know when you're physically hungry and your body is asking you for food. Wait for 10 minutes. The feeling disappears, you're not yet hungry. The feeling persists, you're hungry. Your body's ready to feed it its next batch of food because it needs vitamins, minerals, and energy. This is the first fundamental rule. Forget about intermittent fasting, 16 hours, 18, all of that is a fad. Fasting is therapeutic. Fasting according to your individuality. Some of you may fast 12 hours and it works brilliantly for you. Some of you may fast 18 hours and it works brilliantly for you. Everyone's not the same. So stop putting yourself into a box and trying to copy what everyone is doing. Your friends are doing, Instagram's telling you. Everyone's different. Start off with a minimum of 12. Then see, not hungry, go to 13. Not hungry, go to 14. Listen to your body. It's going to be different for everyone according to the workouts you do, the kind of job you do, your own body, makeup and dynamics, all of that. It's unique to you. So that's the first fundamental. Stop eating so much all the time. Stop overeating. Let's say tonight you need to go out and it's going to be a heavy meal. Okay, balance it out. Make sure you do a workout at least an hour before you go out. You can cut down your carbs at breakfast, cut down your carbs at lunch. Don't cut down the protein and fat because you know you're going to make up at dinner. That's called compensation. It works for everyone. You don't have to be so hard on yourself. You just got to be mindful. You just got to be mindful, and the important thing is give it a break. Let's say you've overeaten tonight, okay, but you still want to wake up and have breakfast at 7 because that's what breakfast is for you. No. If you've eaten a late night meal and a heavy meal, and if you only feel hungry the next day at 12 o'clock, that is the time you're supposed to eat. That is the time you're supposed to eat when your body tells you, I'm ready, Luke, I'm hungry. If you're eating before that, you're doing injustice to your gut, and you know it. You know it. Right? You know it. If your body tells you you're hungry, sometimes I work out heavy and I probably have, like last night I was on a flight, landed at about 11 o'clock. So I had my meal on the flight at about 9:30. I slept at 1 o'clock. This morning I wasn't hungry till 12 in the afternoon because I had a late night meal. So I waited until my body told me I'm ready and I ate it. So I have no regret over a late night meal yesterday. I have absolutely no regret. We have to all adapt as we're going through life because life's never going to throw us a perfect situation or a perfect day. So that's the first fundamental rule. Over the next couple of days, we'll discuss the other fundamental rules of the gut. A probiotic and a prebiotic cannot fix every problem. Please come down to the basics, the foundations, and remember, simplicity is a luxury. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, breathe deep, and remember, you care is all about you.